Well, good morning and welcome back to another 30 Days Creative, and in fact, the last day of 30 Days Creative. Now, got a bit of an important task to undertake before we get into this video. I need to take a lateral flow test. Pingy McPingface. What a way to finish the month, eh? Well, that's the test done. So now we wait 30 minutes and see. So, fair play to the kind of kids and young folks who are having to do lateral flow tests just as a matter of fact. I think we said this in one of our travel vlogs whenever we had to do the PCR tests coming back from France. I'm hopeless at anything in my mouth, and I don't know how I wasn't sick there. Oh, and then up your nose as well. So still 15 minutes away from the test result. So I thought I would make myself a coffee and fingers crossed it's a negative result. Now, of course, because we have come into contact with someone, we'll take another lateral flow test on Friday, or of course, if we develop any symptoms, we'll go get a PCR test. So I guess this is the new norm. So 30 Days Creative, day 30, the last day of producing daily vlogs, and they really were daily vlogs. It's not as if I was recording 2 or 3 pieces of camera and then kind of taking a couple of days off. It was going out and doing something creative or trying to be creative behind the camera 30 days in a row. Well, I think from the good perspective, one of the reasons why I set myself this challenge was, of course, I'm going through a pretty rough time at the moment from a personal sort of mental state point of view. And so I wanted something to focus on for those 30 days, something that got me out, something that got me doing creative endeavors with the camera. Because as I've said countless times before on this channel, photography for me is much more than simply making images. And I say this, I don't say this lightly, I feel it's saving me. And so I wanted something that was going to drive me out and, sort of try to get my mind in the right set. And I would say, for the most part, it absolutely did that. When I'm out with a camera and when I'm sort of thinking about sort of creating something, my other sort of thoughts and negative thoughts and anxiety kind of almost get, I wouldn't say swept aside, because it can still come in, but it certainly helps a great deal. So 30 days of sitting in front of the camera, and as I've said before, sitting in front of this vlog, I think sometimes can feel a little bit like my own personal therapy. So, by the way, thanks for that. Just don't send me a bill, eh? So it definitely worked from that perspective. Of course, it wasn't without its challenges and I guess the negative side of daily vlogs. I think the negative side is it's very difficult to kind of create something engaging day on day on day. Hats off to the folks who do daily vlogs. Now, perhaps they're able to kind of record a couple of different sessions on one particular day and then sort of drip feed it from that perspective. Maybe they load up a bunch of vlogs beforehand, and so they're not under that pressure. But daily vlogging is certainly a huge challenge. Well, actually, the vlogging side of it isn't necessarily a huge challenge. Let's face it, you just pick up a camera and point at yourself and go blah. But actually making that engaging, and of course we all know that one of the earliest people to do daily vlogs and make it hugely engaging was Casey Neistat. Very upsetting that Casey hasn't appeared on YouTube in a while. I love to see his vlogs, but his daily vlogs were literally, it was almost like watching a bit of the Truman Show. You kind of couldn't wait to catch up with Casey's sort of day. And let's face it, a lot of the times he was doing something completely ordinary, but he made the story extremely engaging. And that, of course, has been challenging. So would I do daily vlogging again? Probably not. I think for me, it's a little bit too challenging to create something engaging. So I don't think that we would carry on doing more daily vlogs in the future. You never know. Maybe if I'm in another pretty pretty bad way. I'll maybe look at doing sort of a 7-day challenge or maybe another monthly challenge. But certainly I think as a general rule of thumb, we'll go back to a more sort of still regular but less frequent vlog publishing. So what is the future of this channel? Well, I absolutely want to carry on creating content. And content at the moment, I think, is just going to be the regular weekly content. I did consider going back to producing my moments between vlog, where they were kind of just little snippets from my day, sort of pieced together to sort of show the life of a full-time photographer, and then a main vlog. But I think for now, what I'd like to do is just put all my efforts into a single vlog. 8 minutes to go on the old lateral flow test. So yeah, so I want to carry on recording the vlogs. Now, first and foremost, I am a photographer. I don't see myself as a content creator. I see myself as a photographer. And that is 100% what I want to carry on focusing on. That said, I certainly want to perhaps up the production value a little bit on the vlogs. Now, I personally, and I'd like to hear from you guys below, I completely accept the effort and appreciate the effort that a lot of other content creators go to in creating an engaging story. So for example, you're walking up a path and you have a camera angle, and then you go to open the path gate and you have another camera angle, and basically that 10-15 second element all of a sudden has maybe taken 10 minutes to record. Now, I personally am not a big fan of 30 seconds of someone opening a gate, and that's my own personal side of things. So it's one of the reasons why I don't do a lot of that in my own vlogs. But if you're watching a vlog, what level of kind of depth do you want to see in terms of the environment that us photographers are going out into? The whole sort of unpacking our, walking through the gate, walking through the landscape, putting down our camera bag, opening our camera bag, putting it on the tripod, twiddling about a few bits and pieces, and then we kind of start talking. Or maybe just a wider view of the scene, maybe even a drone shot, and then get straight into the photography side of things. My personal opinion is I prefer the latter, less of the kind of, putting the camera on the tripod and twisting it around and doing very bits and pieces, but perhaps that is a little bit more engaging for you. So I'd love to hear in the comments below what you like to see in vlogs. So in terms of the type of content that you like to see, is it always the outdoor stuff? And I'm pretty sure that that's kind of what you're mostly interested in. But what about if there was an additional vlog a couple of times a month where it was more this kind of thing, or maybe talking a little bit about workflow or something else that I'm up to? So not necessarily out in the field, maybe even my own personal image review, where I maybe look at some of my images and point out some of the things that I did wrong or some of the things I'd like to go further with. So absolutely, maybe 80% of the vlogs on the channel will continue to be outside, but maybe a small smattering of more sort of indoor technical side of things. Is that something that you'd be down with? Did I just really say you'd be down with? Oh. Negative? Oh, yeah, right, negative. It's a good thing. So I guess we'll test again in a couple of days' time, providing we don't have any symptoms. What about production, kind of on the technical side of things? So I think I said earlier that I've been recording some of my vlogs on the X-T4, which meant I was doing my photography on the X-T2. Now, let's face it, for doing the type of photography that I do, sort of stills landscape quite often on the tripod, there's not a huge difference between the X-T2 and the X-T4. But as you know, a weeks ago, I picked up the GoPro Hero 10, which is right here. This was mainly for our kind of travel vlogs because it's perfect from that perspective. But I've also been recording most of my last few vlogs on this. Well, certainly most of the 30 days creative have been on this. Now, I kind of sometimes look at the footage on that, and of course one of the downsides with the Hero 10 and the sort of action cams is everything is in focus, whereas obviously shooting on a X-T4 with a nice sort of f4 lens, we're able to sort of throw out the background and perhaps give a little more sort of connected feel to the vlogs. Is that something you notice? Do you go and look at a GoPro or a video or a vlog and go, oh, that's recorded on a GoPro, I'm not going to watch that. I want the more immersive thing. So again, would love to hear that down below. Or, as I quite often say to myself, story is king. I watch a lot of content on YouTube, and if the story is engaging and the content is engaging, I forget about the technology that they're using. And I think sometimes actually we can put technology and kind of razzmatazz above story, and I think that works sometimes, but I think if all of our vlogs are just highly polished, sort of just crystal clear footage and beautiful sort of bokeh and lovely sort of drone shots, but no substance, I think that's where we fall down. So interested to hear below, have you noticed the 30 days creative using an action cam, and is that something that would turn you off? So there you go, guys. 30 days creative is done and dusted, and so far I'm also testing negative for COVID, which is a good thing. On that note, I also realized how little I know about the anatomy, because what I thought was my tonsils, the little dangly bit, that's not your tonsils, Nigel. I actually don't have tonsils, so why I thought it was this, I'll never know. And then I thought to myself, I looked in the mirror and I looked down my throat and I thought, aren't you supposed to have two dangly bits? Yeah, I really should pay more attention to my body. Did almost barf on the TV when doing the test as well. That wouldn't have been good. So yeah, so that's 30 days creative done and dusted. I want to thank each and every one of you who have watched even a couple of these vlogs. As I said, the whole purpose of doing 30 days creative was to engage that part of my mind and hopefully press that self-destruct button much less. And I think it would be amiss of me not to also reach out and say to anyone out there who is struggling themselves, hopefully you have someone in your circle of friends or family who you can speak to. But if you don't, drop me a message. We can at least talk about, I was going to say we can talk about dangly bits, but that's a whole different topic of conversation. We can talk photography, we can talk cake, whatever. Just don't suffer in silence. Absolutely not. And this engagement with you guys out there has certainly helped me. And hopefully I'll continue to improve as I continue to be creative. So what I'll do is I'll throw up just a couple of images from the last 30 days. And I guess we will catch up again, not tomorrow, but actually on Sunday, which is actually the last vlog that I recorded in advance. So we're again going back in time for that one. But I did actually produce one of my favourite images of the year in this upcoming vlog, so I'm looking forward to that. But for now, once again, thanks a lot for watching and following along. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.